morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. I have a couple of projects that I made to show you today, but I was also asked yesterday about UV resin, so I'm going to answer the UV resin question first. And I use UV resin hard. Now, I live in Florida, and of course it's very sunny here, and you have to protect UV resin from sunlight because sunlight is what will cause it to harden. Either that or you can use a UV lamp. Now, mine comes in a black bottle and it's got a sort of like electric blue flower design on it, and I can link it below for you. So this is UV hard resin and I keep it wrapped up in foil. How do I apply it? Well, I'll either use a brush and do a thin layer, or I use one of these plastic teat pipettes from AliExpress, and you can suck some up out of the bottle and put a little tiny drop down on your craft mat to work with, or you can use it to make tiny little raindrops all over a card or something like that. Or you can highlight little eyes, or if you're doing glasses for Santa and you've die cut those out, you can put a little drop of resin into the lens area and just waggle that around and it would fill that area for you. So it's a brush or a plastic teat pipette. Now, when I use these, I don't throw them away because you'll find that there'll still be resin left in the barrel of the teat pipette. So this goes into kitchen foil as well, and I store it on the shelf alongside my bottle of UV resin. Right, that's that. Now my lamp. This is my UV lamp, and it's kind of, can you see that? It's C-shaped or U-shaped. It's a 36 watt lamp, and 36 watts is the minimum requirement for setting UV resin, and you can see that there. You've got a button that when you push this is your on-off button. You can get it to come on for a very long time, i.e. this one, it won't switch off. 60 seconds, which is what I use on my first layer, and then I'll take it out and I'll put glitter or little stones or anything you want to in it. And that one is the finishing one, the 120 seconds. Once you've added glitter or something like that and you've added another coat, then that is the button to push and just leave it in there for 120 seconds. If I tip it upside down, you can see the UV lights there underneath. And I like that it's open at the base because I can pick it up and stand it over on my craft mat like this and it will cover most objects. Now, I bought mine with a USB cable because that's easiest for me, but you can get them with your regular outlet plugs on them. So this is what I got, and I think, as I say, it was $4 or $5 with free shipping, and that is also from AliExpress. So I've explained the teat pipette using the brush, what the bottle of hard resin looks like. I will put all these links below, and I've shown you my lamp, and here are a couple of things on different substrates that I did. This is Dollar Tree foam board, if you can hear that, and I use dyes on top of the Dollar Tree foam board, and I use some I'm trying to think what it was that I was using, watercolors and Crayola portfolios. I think I did this with, rub them in with my finger, and then I put UV resin over the top to make that sort of like porcelain effect tile. So you can do stuff like this, and there is a video on my channel. All you have to do is click on Craft Eccentricity below this video. Then when you land on that page, you click on videos, and a whole bunch of videos will open up for you. I think I've done about 120 or something like that. So that's on Dollar Tree foam board. And then this one, because I like to go beach walking, is a washed up piece of terracotta. You can see it there. It's like all holy from being in the sea. And I used StazOn to stamp a rabbit onto the surface, and then I covered it with UV resin so that I'd got myself a little ornament that I just lean up on a shelf. So that's another way to use your resin. And then I also made myself a little pendant. This is using a cat dye from AliExpress and alcohol ink markers, and that's how I did this. And then I just got my pen and I did some squirrely scribbles, and that's my white gel marker that you can see in those swirls there. So that was really easy to make. And of course, because you're using a die, it's like using a cookie cutter, and you'll get a three-dimensional effect as the clay, this is paper clay, squeezes through the die. You then let your clay dry, you colour it, and then you pop on your UV resin, and you've got a permanent little pendant there for hanging off your bag or something like that. So I hope I explained that well, and that is how I use UV resin, and that is the resin that I use. Right, now on to my projects. And my first one, I've got to find everything. I've hidden it all under the UV lamp. Right, here we go. I used a new doll die, and this is a gorgeous little girl. She's a girl with attitude, and of course she needs measuring all made up. And this is her little separate face, which you can cut separately in a different colour and pop on just like that. And here she is. So once again, I used my AliExpress gel marker and then just rubbed it down with my finger to get the highlighting on the hair there. I used a postage decal edge die set. Now, I don't think you can get the rectangle anymore. I think only the square is available, but I will link that below. And I added a pink sparkly glitter heart and a little lemon sparkly flower. This is from my stash. I usually make up these little sugary flowers and do them in batches and then pop them in a bag, and then I can just use them when I want to. And I will give a link to that die as well, because it makes such a pretty flower, and then just one tiny little stamen in the middle. But look at her little shoes. She's got little bows, and she looks like she has such attitude in those shorts, with her head leaning off to one side. And I just think she's really, really sweet. So that is my first one today. And my second one, because I had my watercolours out on the table from yesterday, I did a stamp. There are thousands and thousands of stamps on AliExpress, and I didn't mount this one back properly, so it's looking rather blurred. My little monster, I think that's what it is. I call it a little monster, and a little girl on top with an umbrella. But I will show you that one, and I just watercoloured it, and there she is sitting with her little umbrella on top of her head. I think it's a little girl. I did her feet in pink and lilac, and she's got the tiny little unicorn down there. And I just did some really, really simple colouring, and I think that's a really cute stamp. So that is what I have for you today. As usual, all links will be below, and I had a huge batch of dies delivered yesterday, so tomorrow I will be back with even more. You have a wonderful day. Bye.